All right, folks, back on the Bossman show, going to Coastal Carolina, talk to Jamey Chadwell about the Sun Belt Conference. Coach, how you doing, man? Good to talk to you for the first time.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's good right now. Calm before the storm, So
Yes, sir.
a couple of weeks away here, so we're trying to enjoy it until it gets just completely hectic.
Now, Coach, how's camp been going so far for you guys? Get out there and compete against each other, get ready for your season coming up. So tell us about that so far.
You know what? I think we've had a pretty solid camp. The main thing you're trying to do is stay healthy through it, right? And we did have one injury that did cost somebody the season, but beyond that, we stayed probably the healthiest we've been through our camps, which has been positive. That's the main thing. And then two, are you putting your team in position for the long term? To have a chance to go out and compete over the long season. And we've had good competition. We've had young guys that have really made some strides, which is nice to see. And then obviously having the number of super seniors that we had back, their leadership's been invaluable during fall camp.
And Coach, how was it having guys on campus this summer to get them in shape and get them prepared? Because last year, 2020, was all hectic. You didn't know what's going on. To have the guys actually there to get the body stronger, get the mindset ready for this year. How's it been for you and your staff and your players as well?
Well, I think from a staff standpoint, it's nice to get back into a routine that you're normal, you're used to. And so this is how you do things in June. This is how you do things in July. Just getting back into that rhythm was great. And then two, I think our players missed it. Obviously, when you're around your teammates, when you're around your strength staff, you want to do better because you've got people pushing you. And when last year you had nothing like that going on. And so I think that helped our camaraderie. I think that helped our players develop. And so it's been a positive. Now I know the coaches they'll laugh a little bit and wish they were home as much as they were last year during the camp. Everybody's home all the time. But it was nice to be back in that. And I think that has given us a chance to be in the best shape to possibly be, just because of going back to that and pushing those guys to the extreme this summer to be in great condition. And so I think that's why we've had a good camp so far.
Hey, Coach, can I mention it? How important is having a great strength staff in your program, because they're with your guys more than you all are, pretty much, was getting them their rest, recovery, nutrition piece of it, because that's what's important to play fast on Saturday afternoons or Saturday nights, rather.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I think they're the most important hire you have, and the reason why you mentioned they're with our players. 75% of their day they're with the strength coaches, whatever it may be, whether it's recovery, whether it's nutrition, obviously weight training, and so you have to have that group of people, that the head guy. Your identity of who you are as a program is developed in that weight room from a toughness standpoint, physical and mental, and so when you have a good one. It doesn't seem like they're working out. It's just they know they got an opportunity to go get better and improve. When you have a bad one, it's nobody wants to go in there. And so I think that's the most important hire, your staff, and the one we have and our staff that we have, they're phenomenal. They do a great job, and I think that shows in the results of how our team plays and how they compete and the different things that they do.
And non-conference schedule, you got a great home non-conference slate. You got Citadel, Kansas, and UMass coming to you guys at home, and also you go up on the road to Buffalo. Tell us about that non-conference schedule and how it will challenge you for you playing the Sun Belt play this year.
Well, it is a very challenging one. We're excited about it. We're obviously playing a rival from our FCS days in the Citadel to open up. That's a Thursday night game, which we're pumped. Hopefully have a chance to. We're trying to set the attendance record for our university at that game, so we're looking forward to that one. And then having our first Power 5 opponent come here to Conway. Kansas coming in. We've never had a Power 5 opponent in our stadium, and that's a big deal. And then Buffalo coming off the success that they've had over the last, few years there in the MAC, that's a huge challenge. And then in a UMass, who is continuing to build their program, and they've made the move to FBS here a few years ago, like we did, and they're building theirs. And so I think one, you're seeing a different variety of teams. Two, you're seeing different type of schemes and different things that will prepare you for the Sun Belt, and that's the ultimate goal. Obviously, you want to win every game, but what you're trying to do is get your team ready for that Sun Belt play, that conference play, and that's what we know. It's a tough, challenging schedule, but one that will prepare us for the long term.
And Coach, a lot of people don't realize how tough the Sun Belt really is. Having Georgia State right here in my backyard and Southern down the road here from us, I know how tough the Sun Belt Conference is for its football. Tell our listeners out here about the quality of the league and the quality of talent in the league that you all play against every year.
Well, I agree with you. I arguably think from top to bottom, I think our conference is the toughest in G5. I believe that. I think every week there's a chance that you can go out and you're going to get beat if you don't show up and play. And if you just look at our East Division, just the East Division, I think one article said it was the toughest in G5. Our side of the division. And every week, here's the thing about what I know about the Sun Belt: you got teams that have great tradition. They've got great fan bases, and they've invested resources into making football a priority. And I think that shows with our bowl winning percentage. We've averaged about 80% wins over the last 4 years. In bowl wise, we've had the highest win percentage of any FBS from a conference standpoint. You look at the coaches, you look at the players coming out here. I think we've had 5 straight drafts where we've had at least 2 or 3 players taken every draft. And so that's showing you how well the league has improved. And I think this year is going to be arguably the best year in general that our league's ever had. 2 teams in the top 25. You could argue a third one could be in there. And I think we've got tremendous teams here and coaches and people that care about it.
And Coach, for listeners out here, tell us some guys on each side of the ball who will be key for you this year. They should look out for when they watch you all play this year.
Well, I think offensively, you start with our quarterback, Grayson McCall, who had a tremendous freshman season. He's somebody that if he continues to play at a high level, he's got a chance to be an all-conference, player of the year type performer. So I think it starts with him there first. And then for us, you go from Javon Hiley, a wide receiver, and Isaiah Likely, a tight end. Those 2 are our biggest targets returning as far as number of receptions, yardage, et cetera, touchdowns. Those guys will make a lot of plays in our passing game. Our big challenge for us is finding somebody to replace our running back that's in the NFL right now. And we've got 2, Shamari Jones and a Reese White, who's from the Atlanta area there, that will fill that. And then, from an offensive line standpoint, we're returning all 5 starters there. That they're called the Mighty Mites. They're not very big, but they play hard. And so we're excited about them. I think defensively, you start with our linebackers, Teddy Gallagher and Silas Kelly, the Mullet twins. And they've done a great job of leading. They lead our team in tackles, and so that's where the strength of our unit is. In the secondary, and Alex Spillman, Jordan Strong, a corner who came on the year, was newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt. I think our biggest question mark is going to be up front to provide them depth. We've got C.J. Brewer and Jeff Gunner that are great, pass rushers, great defensive linemen. It's just that we lost to Teron Jackson to the NFL, and it's those other areas who can come in and do well there. But we've got a good nucleus of players that I mentioned there that set our foundation for our team.
And Coach, recruiting-wise, you're in a good spot. You got South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and plus the Sun Belt with Alabama, Louisiana. So talk about how with the league you're in, the imprint you can get the young men. They can see your program and say, hey, Coastal Carolina's doing big things. We saw them on TV last year. I'd love to go play for that and join that program and be a part of something special in Conway there.
Well, we are obviously in a good location. You mentioned the surrounding states, and then in our home state, there is really good high school coaches, great high school football players in those states. And so you obviously try to recruit those. A thing that really helped us last year being on TV so much is we've had a chance to, we're not national by any means, but we've had a chance to go to more up the coast and get into some Pennsylvanias and Massachusetts and different areas and really spread our net. Because more and more people are learning about Coastal. And I think what they saw and what they've seen from our program is one that we're brand new in the FBS, but we're building obviously and coming off the championship. And we're doing it, having fun. We're doing it the way that's unique to maybe some other people. And I think that's opened up a lot of doors for us from a recruiting standpoint. But end of the day, we're going to hammer Georgia. We're going to hit Florida. We're going to hit our in-state, South Carolina, North Carolina, the states that we, compete in quite a bit. The Sun Belt. That's what we're really focusing on is that radius, and it's been really those states have been good to us so far, and hopefully we continue to be.
I think the portal will be good for you too, Coach, because guys who go to Georgia Tech, or North Carolina, Duke, and Wake, or South Carolina, they may not get to play, and they can't play everybody. So guess what? They're using the one-time transfer rule, come play for you guys who have an opportunity to do something great in some bad conference. Because I always say, Coach, the island sky doesn't lie. If you can play, they'll find you for sure.
Yeah, and I think the portal's a big deal, no doubt. It's changed college football, right, as we know it over the last year. And I mean, there's so many. I think there's over 1,000, went in there, and I think there's still quite a few still left. And you hope what you do with that portal is you view it as, hey, I can try to help fix my team now. Maybe I can get a younger guy, but it's going to take him a couple of years to develop, 2 or 3 years. But maybe I get a portal guy that's been coached in college, who's been coached up, who maybe he's just not been in the right fit or whatever it may be. He has a chance to come to your institution and really get the playing time that he's earned. And so we feel like, you have to use it in that way. And so far, we've done that. This year we brought in a few, and all those guys are going to have a chance to compete for us this year.
And Coach, let me ask you a question about yourself, Coach. At what point in your career did you say, I want to become a head coach and help young men the rest of my life and maybe impactful for young men for years to come?
Well, growing up, my father was a high school football coach in Tennessee, so I loved being around the sport of football. So I think from probably high school on, I knew I wanted to be a coach. Never really thought about being a head coach, and then I was in college. You're at a place, you're as an assistant, and you're learning, and you like what you're learning, and you just start thinking, hey, what if I did this on my own? How could I do it? And I started thinking about that probably in my late 20s or 30s. I don't know if I ever started out saying, hey, I want to be a head coach. That was the path God gave me, led me to. But I realized how impactful from an early age coaches are on people and how they can change your life. And I was fortunate to grow up in, a 2-parent home. A lot of people aren't, they might not have that male father figure. And for them, that coach has been that male father figure. And to have that opportunity to be able to set the culture you want and use football to teach young men about life and how to become the man God's calling them to be, and I feel like that's the purpose I've been put on this earth. And I'm thankful for that. And I don't take that for granted.
Coach, it's funny to Tennessee. I went to Tennessee State. From 05 to 08, I was at Tennessee State University. So my mom went to Lipscomb in Nashville. So Tennessee for me gave me and my mom both degrees, and I feel like coaches have helped me out. I grew up not so rich in my life, Coach. I grew up marginal. I didn't have much money, food stamps, all that kind of stuff. But coaches gave me inspiration to want to go to college and play in college. So I feel like you said, one for coaches impacted me as a young man growing up in Atlanta. I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah, and I think you think about that. Think of all the different stories that are similar to yours, and that because a coach believed in somebody, gave you hope, and like, hey, this said you can go accomplish something if you'll just do X, Y, and Z, and it changes the path of a lot of people's lives. And I think that's what's special about coaching. Yeah, we get judged on wins and losses, and we all know you have to win, right? We all know you have to end up doing that. But at the end of the day, if you have the opportunity to use football and don't allow football to use you. It goes either way, right?
Yes,
football,
sir.
It can spit you out and you got nothing to show for it, or you can use the opportunity you have with it. And whether you make it the NFL or not, you've already put yourself ahead because you've learned the necessary characteristics you need to be successful long term. And so I think that's what makes it football the best sport in the world. My sister went to Belmont, by the way, too. Big rival there at Lipscomb. So.
Yes. The battle of the boulevard over there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My mom won't like to hear that, but she'll have to deal with it. Yes, sir. Last one for you, Coach, is when you come to Atlanta, Coach, to recruit or play Georgia State, what's your favorite place to eat here, Coach, when you come to town, man?
Oh God, there's so many good ones. Like one of the places we stay is close to Papa Do's. So I like to go to Papa Do's.
Yes, sir.
Fox Brothers Barbecue.
Oh, another one. Yes. I
love
it.
So those two right there are the ones that I always try to hit up when I'm down that way. But there's a lot of good places down there, no doubt. But those are the two you try to, when you go somewhere and play, hey, what's the local cuisine? Obviously, Atlanta's got everything, right? But what's the local cuisine? And then if we have it here, or is there something just better there? So I try to barbecue places and things like that. I love trying different stuff like that and throw some of those ribs down.
Coach, when we get there, I'm going to give you my number out there. I was like, when we come to town, Coach, I'll take you some good seafood spots, some Creole spots. I have Italian for you, Coach. If you want to go to, man, I have the menu for you, man. I got you.
We might not make the game. I might go to the coach if I go out with you. So.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, thank you for your time today. Best luck to you guys. I'll be cheering for you guys. Hope to see you real soon in town, man. And be blessed, Coach. I'll talk to you again real soon, man.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. God bless.
Anytime, Coach.